Hey, my name is Daniel, and I'm a full-time missionary in Mexico and the lead healer with Heal Outreach. If you're wondering what that is, this is probably not what you're thinking. No, I'm not going around and healing people and praying that people's backs are healed or anything like that. Although we do pray over people when they're sick and not feeling well, but I'm not that type of healer. Healing, being a healer for Heal Outreach is somebody that's involved with the community and leads through the core values and pillars for Heal Outreach, which is the heal is HEAL. It's hope, encouragement, accountability, and love. So I'm just getting on here because I feel God has told me that I need to get on here. Sorry about that. I'm sitting outside in Mexico, and so there's lots of distractions while you're trying to make a video. But anyways, I thought I'd get on here and talk about my story and just give a quick testimony. And I pray that this video reaches the one that needs to hear about what God can do in their lives. So anyways, quick Heal Outreach, we go into the communities and we work with people that are marginalized. Or, when you think about marginalized, it's people that are getting out of prison, that are trying to transition back into society, or people that are dealing with addiction, or poverty or homelessness and those type of things. So we try to offer counseling and resources for therapy, and we go into communities and pass out hygiene bags and food. And here in Mexico, we started a jiu-jitsu project. We call it El Rebaño del Colorado, and it's basically discipleship, mentorship through jiu-jitsu for right now for the teens in the community. So anyways, get back to the story. So to myself, I grew up kind of a hard head, and I started getting in a lot of trouble in a bad neighborhood. Started hanging out with people that I shouldn't have hung out with, and that landed me into a lot of rebellion. And basically, my parents, they were in and out of the party scene, and I got to witness firsthand what turning your life over to Jesus could do through my stepfather, who was into drugs and alcohol and partying, and then just dramatically changed his life and surrendered and started following Jesus, and gave his life over to missions and doing everything that he could to serve God. So basically, I got to witness that, but I was still very hardened towards God and truly surrendering, even though I was going to church and trying to live both worlds basically. And so I ended up going to prison for 10 years and didn't do the right things in there. Still sold drugs and did lots of bad things, and I did some good things. I got an education while I was in there, and did enough to get out on time. So I got out of prison, tried to walk with God a little bit because I knew that the seed was planted in my life. I just didn't know exactly how to go about it yet, and so it took a little bit of struggles and going down the wrong path again. I started drinking every day, doing drugs and addiction to porn and stuff like that, and basically gave up everything, even just thinking about God. Or I started going down rabbit holes of conspiracies and other religions and everything like that. But started battling with depression and just had a constant rage in my heart. And then my stepdad, who, like I said earlier, he exemplified what turning and surrendering your life over to Christ looked like. He was diagnosed with cancer, and he battled that for 2 years. And on his deathbed, he had peace about it, and I was questioning God. And sorry, excuse my. I'm a full-time dog dad as well. So not only do I have 2 kids, but we have 6 dogs here in Mexico. My wife is a vet tech from the United States, and she loves dogs, and I love dogs. So we have lots of dogs. Anyways, back to the story. My dad was on his deathbed, and I started to question, who was the God that he served. And the God that he served, was a God of love and forgiveness. And so I reached out to that God and I said, Jesus, if you're real, you'll reveal yourself to me. And if you do that in a personal way, and you truly identify yourself, then I will turn my life over to you, like my stepdad did. And so that was a prayer that I prayed in my heart. And when he was passing away, he grabbed my hand and he looked up at me. He said, "My son, Jesus is here," and he said to tell you hi. And it was at that moment after that prayer that he said that, I just knew that Jesus was real. And so I decided to surrender my life over to God, and I started seeking him and trying to find out everything about him. And I never asked God to take away my addictions or anything like that, but I did just seek after Him, read His Word every day, and pray and listen to sermons, and try to learn more and more. I had a hunger and a thirst for the living water, and so in that I just tried to learn as much as I can, and I realized it wasn't overnight, but I realized that with filling my cup up with those new habits, that I had given up drinking, I had given up porn, I had given up my addiction to drugs, and it was replaced with joy, happiness, and the fruits of the Spirit. So I don't know, I just wanted to get on here, and maybe this only reaches one person, and for that one person, they need to know that God is out there, Jesus loves you, and that it's not the end, and that He will continue to work in your life, and hola, and that you'll benefit from just seeking after Him, and that He will work in your life He will work in your life through little steps to continue in the walk of faith. So if you continue in that walk, you'll see Him just like moving step by step in your life. There's so many little things that I could, little stories that I could tell you. I know this is kind of a long video, but I just wanted to get on here, and maybe for the next video you can tell me, in the comments, what you want to hear. If you want to hear more about my testimony in prison, or about our testimony as a family here in Mexico as full-time missionaries. Well, thank you for listening, and have a good night. Bye.